What if you could email 100 leads before you finish your morning coffee? Well, let me show you how. And in the last video, I showed you how to find 500 leads for free online using ChatGPT and one additional source. So hit pause, go back and watch that video, and then come back and watch this one. So now you've got a database or a spreadsheet full of leads, but how do you reach out to them? And so in this video, I'm going to teach you how to automate that process using no-code or low-code tools. Let's get started. So the low-code, no-code tool we'll be using today is called Make.com. Make.com is an automation platform that has a really simple drag and drop interface that allows you to essentially add modules to a canvas, and then you connect the modules together in a linear fashion. And as you connect those modules together, you pass information from one module to another. That is essentially the essence of Make.com and how automation works. And just letting you know that everything we do here today will be free for you to download. Just click on the link on the description below. You can download the blueprint for this scenario. Then you can import it into your Make.com account and you can try it out yourself. Okay, let's dive in. Okay, so here's my data. And you'll see that it's called Tattoo Removal Leads in North Carolina. This is a Google spreadsheet, which is a free product of Google. So here are my columns. I have the company that they work for, their email address, their first name, their title, and their website. So this is the spreadsheet that we're going to be using for demo purposes. And you'll notice that not all of them have emails, not all of them have titles or have first names. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but I just want you to make aware this is the data set we'll be using for our demo purposes. Okay, so here we are in the dashboard of Make.com. So if you have signed up for a free account using the link below in the description, you'll get something like this. Now, I am not on the free plan. You'll see I'm paying $18 a month for the core plan. That's because I use it a lot. But let me just give you a brief overview of the dashboard here. It tells you how many operations that you've used and how many you have left. It also has information about how much data you've transferred. It has information about scenarios that require attention. These are all my active scenarios. And there's some other information down here. But on the left-hand side, you'll see there's a menu. And if you click on scenarios, this is where we're going to get started. So you'll see that I have a bunch of different scenarios here. I've been using Make.com for a while. But all we're going to do is just click on, I have a folder here called YouTube. Let's start there just to keep it a bit more organized. But you can create whatever folder you want. But basically, to get started, I don't want to make this tutorial too long. To get started, just click on create a new scenario in the top right corner. Okay. So if you're new to Make, I'm going to go a little bit slow and just walk through a couple of different things just to get you comfortable with this setup. The first thing you'll see is there's a navigation bar at the bottom. We have this nice big circle on the canvas here. In the top left-hand corner, we have our title. Let's just go ahead and change the title. Call it Cold Outreach. And I like sometimes to indicate what modules I'm using. So it'd be Google Sheets plus Gmail. Okay. All right. Go ahead and click the little button there at the bottom and save it. All right. So the first thing that we need to add to our canvas here is a Google Sheets module, because that's going to be what we do to grab all these leads. So I have a programming background, so I know how I would do this with programming and coding. But what's cool about Make.com is it's a no-code platform, so anyone can jump in and start using it right away. And so that's the beauty of it, and that's what I'm going to teach you here today. We're going to click on the little circle here, and you'll see that we have options. We have all these apps here. We can scroll down and look for what we need, or you can actually just type it right here at the bottom and it pulls up. We're going to look for Google Sheets. Okay, so now that we found Google Sheets, you'll notice that we have all these different options. Watch new rows, add a row, update a row, search rows, delete a row, and so forth. So what we're going to use is search rows. So click on search rows. Okay, so now we have this little dialog box that pops up. Now you're going to need to create a connection from Make to your Google Drive, which contains your Google Sheets. And I'm not going to go over that in this video, but just letting you know that is something you have to set up to make this work is a connection. So I already have a connection set up, so I'll just click on that there. Now, how am I going to find this spreadsheet with that name? There's a couple different ways to do it, but you'll see I'm going to say select from my drive. So that would be my drive, not share with me or anything else. My drive. And I'm going to look for, I can do a search. Tattoo removal leads North Carolina. Perfect. There we go. So we already found it. And we need to pick the sheet name. So if we go back to the spreadsheet, you'll see the tab here at the bottom is called leads. This sheet is called leads. So now let's go back and pick it. And there it is. So we know we've got a good connection because we see the name and we see that the sheet name leads is connected. We found it. So that's good. And we're going to go through a couple of these other different options, but we have different things we could do. Like we can filter data, we can order it, and we can limit it. So just for testing purposes, there's like, I don't know, 102. I don't want to pull all these. So just for testing purposes and just in general with Make.com, every time you run your module, you're going to be consuming operations. And if you're on the free plan, you only get 1,000 operations per month. So you want to be mindful of how many times you run these modules when you're testing, when you're developing, just something to keep in the back of your mind. So for just for testing purposes, let's put 5, let's limit the poll to 5 rows. I'll hit save, save it, and then let's just run it. So how do you run it? Well, there's 2 ways. You can right click on the module and say run this module only, or you can click this little run once button in the bottom left hand corner. So I'll click that and boom, you'll see that we got back some information. So what happened? Well, you'll see we have an input. This is everything that was in that search form. You'll see that we searched for a limit of 5 rows in the leads sheet, ascending order. Yeah, so that was our search, basically our search form. And then we got back 5 bundles or 5 records or 5 rows. And you'll see that right here, it contains all the information about that record. So the first one is called Purifico Med Spa and Therapy. If I go back to my spreadsheet, there it is, Purifico Med Spa and Therapy. And the email is info at no name, no title, and the website is purifico.com, which is right there. We also have the row number, which is helpful, row number 2. And it's also 1 of 5. So this is bundle order 1 of 5. And if we go down number 5, innovative aesthetics would be number 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, innovative aesthetics. And you'll see we have email, first name, title, and it's all there in the bundle. Okay, great. So we're now connected to our spreadsheet. So now we can start looping through all these leads and then do something with that data. Okay, before we go any further, you'll notice that some of these leads do not have emails. So we do not want to pull records that don't have emails, right? Because we're going to be sending emails in a minute. So let's talk about how to do that with a filter. So we go back to our module. We'll scroll down to filter, and we'll click the arrow and say, okay, we want to filter by email. We want to know, does the email exist? And so if you click this arrow, you'll see we have all these different options. These are all your text operators. These are all your numeric operators, your date operators, your time operators, but we're interested in exist or does not exist. So we only want records where the email exists. So I'll just click on that. And let's see if okay. So now if we run this now, what should we get? Well, we should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we're going to skip this one, right? Because there's no email. So the last one we get should be 1, 2, 3, should be complete laser clinic because we're doing 5, right? Let's hit that. Let's right click, run this module. The last one should be complete laser clinic, and perfect. There it is. So there we go. So now we're skipping the records that do not have emails, which is what we want. How else can we filter this data? So if we go back to our spreadsheet, let's say that we only want rows from the spreadsheet where we have an email and a first name. So how will we update our module for that? Well, go back to Google Sheets, click on it. Okay, so now you see if you want to add a second filter, we have 2 options. We can do and or. And so we want both of these operations to be true. So we'll use the and option. And we'll click on first name exists, right? So it's going to pull the first 5 records from our spreadsheet where email exists and first name exists. Okay, so I hit save, I'll right click, run this module, and there we go. We get back the first 5. So we have email, Nuishi at Excelasi, first name John. We have this email, Travis, this email, I'm not going to say these names, Aaron, I know that one, Aaron, and Abby. Okay, so we have 5 records that have an email and a first name. Perfect. So our filter is working. Okay, so now let's get into how to actually email these leads. We're going to do that using good old-fashioned free Gmail. Okay, to add the Gmail module, just click on the plus icon. And on the right-hand side, we have Gmail there. You can also search for it. And we're not going to send the email right away. We're just going to save it as a draft. So we'll click on Create a Draft. Now, you're also going to have to create a connection to your Gmail account. I already have mine created, so I'll choose it from the dropdown. The folder is going to be drafts, so we'll scroll down to drafts. The recipient. Okay, who is the recipient? Well, it's going to be the person in the spreadsheet. So how do we get their email address? Well, the easiest way to do that is just click on the field, and you'll see that in this window, we can now reference the variables in the spreadsheet. You'll see we have the company name, the email, the first name, title, and website. The easiest thing to do is just click on email. And now the email will be dynamically populated in that email address field. We can even, if we wanted to, we can even do, no, scratch that part. Okay, so now we need a subject. We'll say, do you need more leads? And for the content for now, just for testing, I'm just going to put hi there. Do you run a service-based business? And are you interested? Thanks. Okay, so there we go. We'll hit save. Save. Okay, so now we want to run this one time. So I just want to make sure they have one there. I just want to run it one time to test it. Let's click on run once, and boom. Let's see what happens. So click on the little bubble there. You'll see that this is our input. We send an email to Nushi at Excelasi, and here is the content, and we saved it in our drafts folder, and here's the subject. And it looks like everything worked. There was no errors. So let's go back to let's open my inbox and see if it's there. So we'll scroll down to drafts, and it's not there. Oh, I had to refresh it. There it is. Okay, so now that email is in my drafts folder. It says, do you need more leads, Nushi? Do you need more leads? And yeah, if I like that, I just hit send, right? And there it goes. But there's a couple more things I think we can do to make this better. For the first thing I noticed is that the email is not formatted properly and it's hard to read. So let's fix that now. So I'm going to just delete this email for now. We'll go back to our canvas. So let's go to the Gmail module. And so we need to basically format the email to make it look a little bit better. And to do that, we can insert some HTML. And just for demo purposes, to make this simple, you also notice there at the bottom it says you can use HTML tags. And so the HTML tag we're going to use is just basically a break or a break tag. And the way you do that is you put BR space / and then a greater than sign. We'll copy it. We'll paste it. We'll do another one. Oops. Okay, so now we have two break tags. We'll copy in between each line. This is one way to do it. There's other ways of doing it, but this is just the quick and dirty way. So basically that's going to create some spacing and format the email a little bit better so it's a bit more readable. I'll hit save, run it again, go back to drafts, refresh. There's the email, and boom, there we go. Now the email is formatted, and it's a lot more easier to read. So what else can we do? Well, right now it says hi there, and that's not very personable. And so we need to replace that with the user's name, which we have, right? We have John, Travis, Aaron, Abby. So how do we do that? Let's delete this one and go back to our canvas. So in the Gmail module, so right here, instead of there, we will replace that with name, first name, right there. So that will insert first name. And we can use any other information from this to personalize this email even more. We could say something like, hi there, love what you're doing over at Excelasi. Seems like you're doing a great job as the founder of Excelasi. Are you interested in cold outreach? So you can personalize an email using the variables from the spreadsheet. Hi, John. There we go. Perfect. So now we see that the email is more personalized. It has his first name, which is being pulled from the spreadsheet. Okay, so what else can we do? Let's pretend that instead of a create a draft module, that we have an actual send an email module. And we want to record when the email was sent on. So the date and time the email was sent. So how can we do that? Well, back over here, our canvas, we can click this add another module icon. We'll go back to Google Sheets. We will, instead of adding a row, now we're going to update a row. And we're going to find this spreadsheet again. And in some modules, you could just search for it. In some modules, you actually have to like dig through your directory, through your folder structure to find it. So you have to click on this little plus icon, go to YouTube, They all work a little bit differently. It's just something you got to get used to. Videos, and there you go. So now I found my leads spreadsheet. And okay, so I want to update that row. And I need to know which row number I'm updating. And remember, we have that information. So if we go back to our search rows module, our row number is right here. Okay, so we need to add a new column then to this spreadsheet to keep track of the date and time. So I'll just do email sent on, and we'll put the date and the time there in that column. And so you'll see that it does not exist because I just added it. That's okay. Just click on the refresh button. And now you'll see the new field shows up. So how can we get the current date and time? Well, the beauty of Make is it has these options up here. And if you click on the calendar icon, you'll see it has a variable called now. And we can put that in there, and that will put the current date into that field. So let's click on it and see what happens. And hit save, and we'll just hit run once. Okay, so now we see that the scenario ran successfully. Let's go back to our spreadsheet, and you'll see that now we have this crazy looking time on there, and that is not helpful. So let's try to make that date a little bit easier to read, and we'll also add the time. So I have a little bit of a cheat sheet here that I'll share with you in the description below. But basically, Make has these functions that allow you to format the date and time. And you'll see that I'm choosing this format, which is month, day, year, at this time in this format. So hit save. Let's run it one more time. Now this time it should format that date and time to be a little bit more easier to read. And there we go. So April 30th, 2025 at 7:55 p.m. This email was sent out. Perfect. Okay, so there you go. That allows us to create a date and time that's a lot easier to read. Now, this scenario is not perfect, and there's pros and cons to this method. Number one is you don't need any code. Using Make.com as an automation platform requires no code. That's fantastic. Number two, it's free to get started. Gmail is free. Make.com is free. It's free to get started. You could do it right now. It also is, it works with tools like Google Sheets, which is also free. You don't have to use different third-party databases. Google Sheets is free. You can get started right away. And lastly, this method would be perfect for testing outreach at a small scale, like maybe a couple hundred emails, but that's kind of the limit. And the cons of this, and now the cons of this system is you can't really use this for large scale outreach when you're talking about thousands and thousands of emails. And the reason for that is because Gmail has a daily sending limit of 500 emails over 24 hours. You can also potentially, if you're sending too much email out from your personal Gmail account, you could potentially get flagged as spam, and that's not good. You don't want to get your personal Gmail account, logged or blacklisted, right? And especially if this is your personal Gmail account. You also can't really track anything this way. You can't track if any links in your email were clicked, or if it was opened, or if it was rejected. You can't track anything with Gmail. And so this isn't ideal for scaling large outreach campaigns. And as I mentioned earlier, Make will eventually want you to refresh your Gmail connection every so often, which is kind of a pain. So while this system is viable and can be used, it's not good for large scale campaigns. All right, so in the next video, I'm going to show you a platform that will get around all these problems with Make.com and Gmail. This platform will protect your domain. It'll allow you to avoid all the issues with rate limits. It'll actually warm up your inbox for you. And it also has tracking. So if you have a link in your email, it'll track if it was opened. It'll track if it was rejected, and so many more features. So stick around for that video to learn how to level up your cold outreach. Okay, so if you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions about Make.com, any questions about cold outreach, leave them in the comments down below. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.